Your favorite fat boys.
Man, what it's like, bitch.
What's up, everybody? Your favorite fat boy, Jerron.
Stefan, a.k.a. Mayhem, a.k.a. the King of Universe 616, a.k.a. Mr. Gritty Reboot.
Gritty reboot.
Mr. Gritty Reboot.
I think you got a Sean Phillips was a certain show, don't you?
You know I do.
Oh, boy, we got to get into it today. So, welcome, everybody, back to Your Favorite Fat Boys podcast. And we are at Hero Talk number...
This might be 11 if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. I think you're right about that one. Hero
Yeah,
Talk.
this is number 11.
Yeah, let's give it up one time.
Time for heroes.
Hero Time 11. So this is our section of the podcast where we talk about anything related to nerd news, geek news, comic news, movie news, TV news, shows you like to watch, and so on and so forth. So been a minute since we've done one of these.
Yeah.
I think the last time we talked about anything movie related was we saw
The Eternals.
the last one. We talked about like Shang-Chi, Black Widow, and the Eternals.
Yeah.
And so quite a few things have come out since then.
Yep.
We saw Far From Home, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We saw The Batman.
Yep.
We watched Peacemaker,
Yeah.
Hawkeye.
And Moon Knight is currently airing.
Yeah, we got, 2 episodes in there?
Yeah, two episodes in.
And, we got a couple of shows coming, that been kind of just trickled in and thrown out there in the middle of the year. Well, not in the middle of the year, but just at the beginning of the year. New shows been thrown out there that, we will talk about as well. So let's get straight into it with Spider-Man Far From Home.
Woo! I think that about sums up that movie for me. Woo!
I have been waiting, 2 years for this movie? Well, ever since, what was the last one? Wait, what's that? Far From Home? No, not Far From Home. What's the second one called?
No, that's Far From Home. You're thinking of, so it was Homecoming,
Far From Home,
and is it No Way Home?
Yeah, No Way Home.
No Way Home is the latest one.
Okay.
Yeah, so No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home. Woo.
Yeah, I've been waiting so long for this one because I didn't want to get sick and out of here. And I couldn't see it because I really like these Spider-Man movies. But also too that there was talk of, Marvel and Sony had split. And then Marvel and Sony was going to do their own thing with Tom Holliston.
Holland.
Tom
Holland.
Oh, Holland. I'm number Tom, sorry. And it was just like, what's going on?
Right.
They finally got it back together. They started filming. Then the pandemic hit. And they were able to finish. And then we had this great movie. And it was worth everything. Everything.
Right. People were screaming about, the MCU being dead after Avengers Endgame. And, Black Widow didn't do great. And Eternals did okay. Shang-Chi did better. But, people were saying, the MCU's done. They got nothing else that they can throw at us. But, after Loki showed us that the multiverse was going to be a big deal. And then No Way Home just came out the gate swinging with that movie. That movie was fucking excellent.
Yeah. It was fanfare all over the place. You smile from beginning to end. I couldn't ask for a better movie. I've only seen it once. I'm gonna watch it again real soon. But I'm satisfied with what I saw. I didn't need to really see it again really quickly. It's just a really, really good movie. The cameos were excellent. You had Daredevil in there. You had Charlie Cox.
Yeah, it was his Matt Murdock from the Netflix series.
So they're integrated to the MCU now. We're gonna see more of them. We saw Tobey Maguire come back. We saw Andrew Garfield come back. We saw
plus their cast of villains and Dr. Octopus and the Green Goblin,
Jimmy Fox, Electro. A better Electro.
Yeah, much better than his amazing Spider-Man counterpart.
Right. We saw the Sandman and the Lizard. So damn near almost a Sinister Six.
Yeah, one short of a Sinister Six.
Right, and I don't really feel like they needed to go to get an extra villain. I think they were talks to having a third one in there. I mean a sixth villain. They were talks, but they decided to pull that back because it was like they had enough.
Yeah,
you had so much going on, but it's like you kind of like what I kind of want to know who they thought about bringing in, but they won't say that much.
Right. I mean, because of the fact that they already had way too many villains that they even the Lizard pretty much got sidelined. I mean, that would be my only complaint is that the Lizard got sidelined in the movie.
I feel like the Lizard and the Sandman both got kind of like sidelined. They were there. They served a purpose, but it was like
yeah. I mean, but the Sandman at least got to do something. The Lizard got captured off screen. So I mean, and it's a very minor complaint.
yeah.
Said and also cameo by Doctor Strange. He played a big role in that. So yeah, it was through and through. It was a great movie.
Yeah, because one of my complaints about the Marvel movies is that when they do solo adventures, they don't bring enough characters in some of these other movies. And I get it.
I mean, it's the solo movie.
Yeah, but I get that. Like for Captain America, you brought in Falcon. And you brought in Sharon Carter, but it's like what someone else is doing? Like you can't bring Rhodey in. Like what's he doing? Like.
I mean, he works for the U.S. government, so they got missions. They got other lives. They can't just be in every event.
Right, true. But it's like when you want to see him more, because it's the same way that I just want to see more of the characters involved and more of the stories, even if it's just a cameo. Because in Shang-Chi, you saw Wong and Abomination, and we still don't know how the hell Abomination got into that story. Because I seen that it was an article I seen that they thought about actually have Deadpool and Proximity Midnight fighting. Yeah. But it's like, how do you kind of make that fit?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
Right.
But I mean, they weren't even really thinking that was just from the art. The illustrator just did that for that scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they weren't really thinking of bringing them in, but the illustrator just drew Deadpool there. It's like, so.
How cool would that be?
Right. Essentially, that's what that was.
Right. So then it was Spider-Man Far From
No Way Home.
No Way Home. We are left with the world not knowing who Peter Parker is. Then his friends don't know who he is. His Aunt May has died, and he's pretty much starting from scratch.
Yeah, they took Spider-Man back to square one.
Which is a recurring theme in the comics for him.
Yeah, and this also addresses a lot of the complaints that people were having that Spider-Man, at least in the MCU, the basis of all his villains were based off of Iron Man. Yeah. So this strips all of that away.
Yeah, so it takes away that, and then he's starting on his own. They went back to his original suit, his original suit.
Yeah.
So he's starting back from square one, and we'll see what that takes him. I think they're going to try to do like another trilogy.
Yeah, because beforehand, Tom Holland was saying that he didn't know whether or not he would do it, but after this one, he's like, yeah, he's game.
Yeah, I mean, he said he felt he's done the character justice. He gave everything he got. Now, if something Marvel came back and said, here's 2 more zeros at the end of your check, and he said okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the trilogy, and he also is going to appear in another movie. So where he pops up at is still up in the air.
Right.
So,
but yeah, I mean, this movie did Spider-Man justice, did the MCU justice going forward with their new initiative with bringing in the multiverse in a big way. So it did all that.
And now we got Doctor Strange coming up in May, which is
Multiverse of Madness.
That's 30 days away, right?
Yeah.
Like on May 6th. So. Yeah, that's called a witch in there. And we think that this is going to be Professor Xavier's in there.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart is in there.
Yeah. Oh, he did confirm that, right?
Yeah, it has been confirmed that was his voice that you hear in the trailer.
And that was the back of his bald ass head.
Right.
So he's in there, so we don't know how that's going to play into it. And we finally get to see the X-Men after being purchased, 3 years ago now?
Yeah, I mean, they had to figure out a way to bring them in, and they're doing just that. So we're probably going to be seeing the X-Men coming up soon.
Yeah, probably the next, I would say maybe like 2 years.
Yeah, probably within the next 2. So you're going to be seeing the Fantastic Four and the X-Men get introduced in a big way.
Yeah. Because just seeing him there is like, is this the Illuminati from the comics?
Right, which I'm assuming that's what it'll end up being.
But also Marvel has a there's a little twist here and there, so
yeah.
But I'm thinking it's gonna be their MCU version of the Illuminati. And then also you got the evil Doctor Strange from the What If series.
Yeah, the What If series.
And
so they're making a point to tie all of this in and say everything is still interconnected.
And then Scarlet Witch is going off. Like you don't really know, you don't know what she's going to play. Either going to be the good guy, the bad guy in this, but
right,
or I guess an accomplice of some sort of
and they're using this as a jump off point for another one of their newer heroes that came in, America Chavez.
Diversity.
Yeah, it's always a good thing.
Yeah. So they bring her in, which is exciting, and the trailers look excellent.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Because I think even with Doctor Strange, I think I always felt like they had like some of the strongest CGI out of some of the best out of all the films.
Yeah.
Because a whole lot be going on. Doctor Strange, even with No Way Home.
Yeah, with the exception of the Avengers movies, Doctor Strange just had some of the best ones. Yeah, some of the best CGI.
Yeah. So looking forward to that coming out next month. And what else? When we saw the Batman that came out back in
March.
Yeah, late March.
Yeah, so last month.
Yeah. So what you think of it?
I thought it was a decent enough movie. Mm-hmm. It was too long for my taste.
What was it? It was almost 3 hours?
Yeah, almost 3 hours.
That's why I fell asleep for the first 15, 20 minutes.
You did.
I had to get myself ready for that back end.
So, I mean, Robert Pattinson was not a bad Batman in any way you shake it. He was a decent enough Batman. They definitely played hard into a horror aspect with how the Riddler was operating. But it wasn't a bad movie. And so I would say that I didn't hate myself for watching it like I've done for many a DC WB movie.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the premise they had with the Riddler. I liked the fact they brought in Zoe Kravitz for Catwoman.
I do wish that Batman was a better detective than he was in that movie. Because just like silly mistakes that he made, and a lot of things that, because again, I love the director Matt Reeves, but the story kind of glossed over, like that chase with the penguin, where probably like 100 people died on that highway, and they just ignore it after it happened.
Yeah, like, Batman, he's not careless.
Right.
He's not careless, but I understand this is like his second
year as Batman.
So it's going to be some mistakes he makes.
But 100 people dead mistake. That ain't a mistake.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
He said he was directly involved in that.
He killed the whole highway. Lock him up. I don't care. We can Superman find a Riddler.
Him and Penguin were directly involved in the destruction and death of probably 100 people on that highway in Gotham.
Lock him up. He killed too many people on the highway.
And also again, I wish that he was a better detective because it was mostly kind of the Riddler just leading the entire thing, the entire movie. I wanted him to be a better detective. I mean, if you're going to show him being a detective, make him a damn good one. But then again, I understand it's his second year, but come on.
Yeah. And yeah, I like the characters. I think Andy Serkis playing Alfred, I expected a little more.
Yeah, he didn't really add anything.
No.
And
because like Jeremy Irons, he did more as Alfred.
Yeah.
In the two movies he was in. Versus what, and I think first two movies versus one, it's probably not a fair call, but Andy Serkis didn't really add anything to the role.
And another problem that I had, and I guess it's the art direction, was the movie was so fucking dark.
Very dark.
Yeah, just for no reason. I understand that Gotham City is gloomy, but come on, I'm pretty sure somebody got a light somewhere.
Y'all got the same days day in Gotham?
None.
The forecast just dark.
Not only was the movie dark, but Batman's. Robert Pattinson, his Bruce Wayne was also gloomy as well.
Very emo.
Yeah, I hated his hair.
Yeah,
but again, it wasn't a bad movie. Another shit, I thought it was an okay movie, but
he did not look like a billionaire.
Yeah, no, he looked like he just got off stage with Fall Out Boy.
Very much so. Very much so.
So yeah, I mean, there was some aesthetic aspects, but I did like how the bat suit looked, and it definitely looked far more functional than it has in past movies.
And his fighting was more visible.
Yeah.
Like when you look at Christian Bale's Batman, it was like, how are you fighting and you're just doing like elbows.
1-2 punch in, hammer blow.
So, but yeah, he enjoyed that. He trained for it, and he beating people up.
Right,
definitely beating people up. And they left a lot, like little clues here and there, little Easter eggs. Like there's a scene like towards the end where he possibly injected venom into himself, which we all know is connected to Bane. So I hope they don't do another Bane.
I mean,
I honestly, me personally, I want to see him do somebody like Mr. Freeze,
But I mean, the problem with certain aspects of his role gallery, when you like with this movie, that gritty reboot, you want it more realistic. Mr. Freeze doesn't work in a realistic setting.
Make it work. Should make it work.
It's hard to make Mr. Freeze work in a realistic setting.
True, but I bet you they would find a way to do Poison Ivy. As outlandish as she is, those two girls are very outlandish in a gritty, in a realistic world setting.
I mean, that's why they don't do it. The Poison Ivies and the Mr. Freeze, because when you do that gritty realism, you can't have somebody who controls plants and controls people with pheromones because, humans can't really fucking detect pheromones. And you can't have somebody who has a device that can instantly freeze people because that's not how physics works.
Oh, fuck all that.
So you can't have realism and then that end of the spectrum of Batman's rogue gallery.
I think you can make it work though.
Maybe Matt Reeves is the director can, but
I don't think he'll go down there. He probably won't go down there.
I don't see it either. But maybe. But it was a decent movie.
Yeah. What villain could he put in there though?
I mean, Calendar Man.
I don't want to mess with no damn Calendar Man.
I mean, if we're thinking gritty realism here,
He must was it Zaz?
Zaz. Even though I think there was a teaser that he was in the movie.
Yeah, I think that was the guy I talked to him in the church.
During the funeral.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can. There are
Deathstroke maybe.
There are plenty of people that they could introduce that keeps with the gritty realism, but the four most supernatural elements, you can't be realistic and then have those as well.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
They probably pull off a Deathstroke.
Yeah,
Deathstroke coming into
mercenary assassin. Yeah, they can definitely pull that off.
Okay, well then do Deathstroke then. I like to see that. I don't want to see you do no Bane. I just don't.
I mean, I can see a Bane, but just a better version of Bane than the Dark Knight Returns.
Do the voice. You do the voice so good.
No, I don't. Batman, now you can die. So fucking silly. Batman, now you have my permission to die.
What was that line he said that's so famous? He's like, "Oh, you are afraid of the dark. I was born in it." Something like that.
He said, you were introduced to the dark. I was born in it.
What does that even mean? What's that mean, babe?
No, the shadows. Yeah, talking about Ra's al Ghul's guild. Yeah, they don't even talk about that. But so what would you recommend to a person who's new to the Batman to watch it?
Would I recommend? Yeah. No, it's too long. I don't think that's the biggest complaint I've seen on like the Twitterverse and reviews of like the ordinary moviegoer.
Right.
It's just too long. I think now with taking advance, taking consideration, Avengers was over 3 hours long.
Right, but it was a captivating 3 hours.
Right.
Whereas the Batman is much more of a slow burn. So if you're not invested in it, yeah.
But I think that because the fact that you're talking about like over 10 films, leading up to this point with Avengers Endgame. And not say Batman has to get to 10 films, but you want to get that. You want to have that. I guess like that progression of like when it comes to the end, it's going to be the end. And it's going to be a
right because after he captured
movie.
Riddler, that would have been good enough for them to end it.
Yeah.
But then they had to have this huge big set piece because it's an action movie, so you got to have a huge set piece that kind of. I don't want to say it destroys the vibe, but it definitely doesn't fit the vibe that they had with the whole movie.
No, it doesn't, because it was like it's kind of like what are y'all doing? It was now that set piece was I liked it. It was dope, but it was like
it didn't fit the rest of the movie.
It's like you're kind of fitting a circle in a square or a square into a circle. It was kind of like forced. So, but we think about the Joker because after they played, the Joker was the guy that was I forgot his name, and he was in the Eternals.
I mean, it didn't really do much with him. They just had him laugh.
Yeah, he talked some shit to Batman and everything.
He said a thing and he laughed. So I mean, they didn't really do much with him. Maybe they'll have him in another movie.
I don't want to see Joker no more.
Me neither.
I mean, and
they always do Joker.
Yeah, I mean, Joker's a favorite. Now, I just wish that I really do wish that we got a Zack Snyderverse without Zack Snyder, Batman, and Joker.
Then you don't want the Zack Snyderverse because it doesn't work.
I don't want Zack Snyder to touch anything. I don't even look at the script. I just want Ben Affleck and Jared Leto, those characters they have with Batman and Joker, to do something. I don't care if it's. No, I do care. I want to do something like a movie or something with those two because it's like that was so like what's the word? A letdown. It's such a big letdown because
I mean, well, maybe not Jared Leto just because of the requirements to have him in a movie is stupid.
What's the requirement?
Because he's a method actor.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the requirements to have him in a movie gets dumb. So maybe not Jared Leto.
Yeah, somebody came up. Was it a Mad Milskin? He said he came out of a day.
Yeah, Mad Mickelson.
Yeah, he said he came out of a day and said how stupid method acting is. He's like, you're gonna just walk around like that all day long, like.
Right.
What are you gonna do for the next year or two? Like, till you get the next role?
Yeah, just fucking act. But I can understand having those characters in a movie, but just not have Zack Snyder be anywhere a part of it.
No, because
so the Batman happened. It was an okay movie.
Yeah, I think not Zach. Matt Reeves signed on for like 3 movies.
Yeah.
So, it'll be consistent unless there's some drastic change.
I mean, at this point, WB is just kind of letting directors do whatever they want because they don't really have a plan anymore.
Nah, it's like whatever you want to do within the world. So, but can we get a Robin? Can we get Nightwing? Can we get somebody out of Batman family? Somebody, something.
No, you get Batman. You fucking be happy about that.
Well, they finished filming Batgirl,
yeah.
And I think Nightwing's in that.
Yeah, we'll find out. I'm not super looking forward to it.
I don't know how it fits in anything because it don't fit.
It doesn't fit in anything.
It's
none of the movies fit in anything.
Just a solo film. Just because we got money to blow.
Yeah, they got to do some of these characters.
And what else we saw? We watched Peacemaker.
Yep, Peacemaker. So that's the other thing from DC that was actually good. I mean, granted, James Gunn wrote and directed most of those, so I would expect them to be good.
Right.
Point blank, full stop. That's it.
Right. He need to go and take over if he wanted to, or they offered him enough money and control, and he had a vision. Go ahead and offer that man the job to do something with DC.
I mean, they're giving him another season of Peacemaker, and he said he's going to write and direct every episode this time. So
I think there's going to be some spinoffs. I think maybe a spinoff out of that.
Yeah, I think there's plans for a couple of spinoffs.
So
because it was just so insanely popular.
Yeah, it was crazy. And John Cena, I don't want to say he was born for that role, but he fits so well. He fits so well for that role. And
honestly, I would have never imagined it based off of the fact that in that Suicide Squad movie, he was just not the strongest character.
No.
He was not the strongest character in that movie, but my God, he owned that role.
Yeah.
And you can definitely tell they were having fun in the space.
Yeah. That small group right there, it definitely showed. And it was just really well acted. They let them kind of have like a lot of free range. And it was dope to see. Now, and he's come a long way as an actor too, because I have a confession to make. Sorry. I watched Fast 9.
Wow.
And I don't know why I watched it. And one thing I will say, John Cena, he has some chops when it comes to acting, whether it be a good guy or a bad guy. He's more of a well-rounded actor than I give him credit for.
I mean, well, that comes from being a part of WrestleMania. That's all acting.
Yeah, but just in that space of him in the movies,
yeah, I mean,
it's like
being a part of WrestleMania is being an actor. It's, you create a character, you create an identity, you create a persona, and you act it in front of an audience. So, I mean, I would expect, that's why so many of the wrestlers become actors. The Hulk Hogan's, the Dave Batistas, the Rocks.
Rocks in every damn thing. So, his role in that movie probably was just stupid just because it's like, you after 9 films, you got a secret brother. Yeah. So, it doesn't very make sense when you pitch it, but I enjoy seeing him on screen when he was acting. But the Fast 9, the rest of that shit was just trash.
Yeah, let's move on.
Sorry. What else we saw? We watched Hawkeye.
Yep.
And that was really good.
See, Hawkeye was better than I had imagined it to be. Because in the movies, Hawkeye doesn't get a lot of play.
No.
They definitely have given Black Widow more screen time than Hawkeye. So I wasn't sure where they were going to go with this, but yeah, it was actually very entertaining. It
was very much so, from the first episode to the last one, and they had so many different like little nuances.
Yeah, and then they introduced the Netflix Wilson Fisk, Vincent D'Onofrio, into the universe, and I loved his Wilson Fisk, and they brought him in there, so hooray! Yeah,
that was a big surprise because like when he was talking about like the big guy, we referred to him as the big guy,
the big guy,
and it was like, I'm thinking in my head like they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They should do it, but they're not going to do it. They show it on the phone. It's like, oh my God, they did it.
Exactly.
So yeah, I was happy to see that. And then also too, the chemistry between Kate Bishop,
and
not even that, between
the
other widow.
Yeah, the other
Natasha's sister.
Yeah, Natasha's sister. I can't remember what her name is.
Yeah, I can't remember what her name is either. But their chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
That's what really, really, very like made me. That's like one of the more entertaining moments of the series.
Yeah, they were like the perfect comedy duo.
Yes, absolutely. And I was like, God damn, this worked so well. I was just smiling every time they were on screen because their back and forth was everything.
They were like just the perfect comedy duo.
Yeah, and it did actually Hawkeye some justice. Like if he's going to be sent away in a sense, or his character his contract was up, that was it. That was a perfect send off.
Yeah, great send off for his character.
Yeah, and we got 2 episodes into Moon Knight, and Oscar Isaac, woo,
Yeah,
he doing it.
Telling you that man is a tour de force with the acting. And,
Yes,
and the way he played this character, this broken character who's with multiple personalities, beautiful.
yeah, he's doing it. And watching the second episode, I noticed it's probably not him; it's probably more so CGI. But the way he be moving in that, when he's Moon Knight and that suit and everything, like that's tough.
Yeah, whatever stuntman they got doing that, kudos to you, sir.
Right, you made Oscar Isaac look real good. But yeah, I like the story. It was and it's definitely going into another world of what the Marvel Universe has to offer.
Right.
So to me, I look at it like Marvel is getting ahead of Black Adam before it comes out. Like I know that they're not setting both. They're not setting Egypt. Both of them are not setting Egypt in a sense.
Yeah, I mean,
but I think it's like I think that's their answer to that.
And I think I don't agree with that because of the fact that Marvel has been very meticulous about mapping out a plan, whereas WB is kind of throwing stuff at the wall. Rock's really popular. We can get him to be Black Adam. Let's do Black Adam. Whereas Marvel is like, okay, they have a specific trajectory about the way they introduce and what characters they introduce.
Yeah, because
so I wouldn't say that they're doing that to get ahead of Black Adam and ahead of bringing in Egyptian gods, but because of the fact that they have a plan in DC, not so much.
Yeah, well, we agree, disagree. That's fine. But yeah, overall, it's a good show, and I think Marvel has they have a good way of introducing characters you don't know too much about.
Right.
I've seen Moon Knight here and there.
I got plenty of Moon Knight comic books. I think I know enough about them.
I've read a couple, but I don't know enough about him. I've seen him. He's been in a few cartoons and been in a few video games here and there. I think he's an awesome character to bring into the fold as like a heavy hitter.
Right.
Because of course you don't have Iron Man, you don't have Cap, you no Black Widow.
You do have Cap.
My bad. We ain't got Chris Evans. See, Roger's
right,
Captain America.
Yeah, we do got Cap.
We got Black Captain America now. So
yeah, but I do like the fact that they're using these Disney Plus TV shows to have as a jump off point to introduce a bunch of new characters into the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, and then how they gonna introduce them to the films is gonna be exciting to see that too. And then also too, what's this leading up to?
Right,
because they said they're not gonna do it like another. They're supposedly not gonna do another Avengers movie.
Well, yeah, it's not in the traditional sense.
Okay,
and having the big group team up.
Okay, so that's gonna be overdone with because the only one you got left is what, Thor, Captain America.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna have some smaller team up because now each of the movies has a bit of a team up. Like Spider-Man, that was a team up movie with just 3 Spider-Men, and Doctor Strange is a team up movie with him and Scarlet Witch.
Right,
so they're not gonna do like the big Avengers type movie, but they have smaller team up movies.
Right, because then we got Thor coming out this year.
Yeah, and he's gonna be in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. And then they bringing in female Thor.
Yeah, Lady Thor.
So they got some characters. They definitely got plenty of characters. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they do all this. And then of course you got Vision still out there somewhere.
Right.
Scarlet Witch is out there too. So we'll see. Exciting stuff coming from Marvel because they showed the trailer for what was that, Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
So can't wait to see that comes out. I think it comes out in June.
Yeah, I believe June.
Yeah, because Marvel has a good way of I really do appreciate this. They're giving us a series, maybe like 2 months before another movie come out, to hold us over from something.
Yeah, because she's going to be in the Captain Marvel sequel.
Yeah, that'll come out next year, though.
Yeah, but she's going to be in it. So the fact that they are doing this series to introduce us, get us familiar with the character before they throw her in.
The same way they threw in, what was her name in WandaVision? Was that Spectre?
Yeah,
No.
I believe that's her. I think that might be a superhero name, but it's Maria Rambeau. I know her last name's Rambeau. I can't remember her first name, but yeah,
okay.
that character. how they introduce
And
her.
she got beef with Miss Marvel. Captain Marvel, I should say.
right.
So we're going to see how that all plays out. We'll touch on this a little bit. So we're talking about movies. DC switched around their timeline of movies. They put some back, like Flash not come out, so this will come out this year, not next year.
Black Adam got pushed back to the end of the year.
And so did Aquaman got pushed back to next year, too.
Yeah.
So then we get the Shazam movie and Black Adam. Any of those four you looking forward to? I don't think we even got a full trailer for Black Adam yet, though, have we?
No.
We got a teaser.
Yeah,
Okay.
just a teaser. Honestly, no. That's the long and the short of it. No. Not really looking forward to any of it. Yeah, no.
I really didn't like Shazam that much. It's a couple scenes here and there that I like of Zachary
Levi.
Levi.
I thought he was definitely having fun with the role. There was some fun to be had. It was just okay. Not like I'm clamoring for a sequel. I really wasn't.
No.
Not.
And
Definitely not clamoring for a sequel to Aquaman.
I mean, Aquaman's alright. Aquaman's not as bad as you make it seem.
Man, that final third act was terrible. And the fact that they didn't know how to transition from dialogue, so they just have an explosion blow up behind Aquaman and say, look, we done talking.
But look, if it's in the budget, you only use it.
So, not super looking forward to a sequel.
I don't think I probably want to see this as a Flash and see what it does. I mean, because
I can't stand Ezra Miller's Flash.
you don't like the way he runs.
I do not. It's fucking stupid.
And they try and sort of make him the comic relief. Like they want him to be the Peter Parker version of DC. Because
I mean, Barry Allen typically is the comic relief in the Flash comics.
Yeah.
But and in the Justice League proper, especially if you watch Justice League Unlimited. But he doesn't hit it for me. He has not hit it for me in his entire time as Flash.
So, the Flash CW series got renewed for its 9th season.
Woohoo!
I don't know where they're going with this. Don't know where they're going with it. Every other show is getting canned.
Yeah, how many other species they plan on reintroducing that? Because that's all they do.
They're making up their own species to go along.
That's all the hell they do.
I think there's a rumor. It was a article I read the other day about possibly making Iris West the next villain. And I'm like, y'all running out of ideas at this point.
Yeah, seriously.
So.
And 9 seasons and damn near like 20 episodes a season. What story can you tell?
That's a lot of goddamn episodes.
What story can you tell?
Man, keep getting that check though. Keep getting that check.
Right. Grant Gustin,
right.
Do you, buddy. Do you, boo-boo. Do you.
So, switching from movies and the Marvel shows, recently we've had season 3. Thank God Atlanta came back on.
Finally. Finally back.
And left me too long.
I'm telling you.
Donald Glover. So, got Atlanta back. Got a new show called Abbott Elementary. What is her name? Can you look up her name real quick? The lady who created it, the actress, the lead actress in that. I know it's Quinn something. Quinta Brunson, I think.
Yeah, Quinta Brunson.
Yeah, Quinta Brunson, who was on a Black Lady sketch show, did not return for season 2, and I wondered why, what happened. I didn't look into it, but she created Abbott Elementary, which is a fucking hit.
Yeah, it's a love letter to teachers.
Yes,
it's definitely a love letter to teachers, and it is a great damn show.
Right, it has everything you need, and the principal is funny as hell. Janitor, the substitute teacher.
Yeah, just the whole cast, the dynamic of the cast, and just the situations, just wonderfully well written and acted. It is definitely a hit show. It has the makings of a very hit show, and it has already been renewed for a second season. Yeah,
thank goodness. Because when shows get put on like certain networks, I'm always like kind of like iffy. I'm like, this ain't gonna get this.
Yeah, real apprehensive about it.
Even if it's like a good show, it's like, is it gonna get a second season? They haven't said nothing about it. Like, will it? And apparently, she did an interview not too long ago, and she said she really didn't have to fight that much or at all with ABC. They came to her, they gave her the budget to make a really good show, and a lot of times you'll hear actors or actresses say that when they try to create a show, they don't get the budget, they don't get the support that they need for the networks.
It's new and not a proven entity.
Right. So they said that she got everything she wanted, and she was kind of taken back by it, but they gave her I think she needed to make the show very successful, and it is.
Yeah, and it's had some of the highest ratings in recent years for a television show.
Yeah,
so it's definitely a good show. And Atlanta is just always good because Atlanta has been good consecutively season to season.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about Atlanta real quick. It's on 4 episodes now. And the first 2 they showed were crazy as hell. Oh yeah, especially the first episode with the three slaps.
3 slaps. That damn episode.
So that was an interesting episode because it was based on real events. Yeah. Like in the beginning of the show, they show 2 guys talking on Lake Lanier. Is that the name of the lake?
I think that might be it.
Yeah, Lake Lanier, and apparently, well, not apparently, but it's a true story that
of the community that got destroyed to dam up the area.
Right, and it was
a black community.
Right, so that happens in history, in American history. Read up on it quite often. Yeah. And it was like they would tell like a little ghost story, and then they show like the ghost coming up out the ghost coming out of the lake and grabbing the black man and drowning him and everything. It was like, what the hell's going on? Then they show a scene with his boy act up in school. His mother and grandfather come to pick him up to make him dance.
We don't need to go into the entirety of the details.
Oh, I thought we were. Okay. So, but it was just a really good episode. And especially when they take real life stories and then implement them into the show. Yeah. And make it funny.
Yeah, add that comedic twist to it. So it's definitely more of that same Atlanta and veering into more of the weird, but very entertaining.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how that season unfolds. And then, of course, we get I think the 4th season this year, right?
Yeah, it's already been filmed and ready to go. And it's going to be the 4th and final season of Atlanta.
Which I do appreciate a show like that.
Yeah, ride out while you're on top.
Yeah, and, being no more than 4 or 5 seasons. When you drag it going like to 7, 8, and 9, it's like,
and you don't have a story to tell.
Yeah, it's like, wow, where's it going? Because what recently ended? Insecure ended. Back in, it was the end of the year. I think so. It was like maybe like December. Yeah, it probably ended. But that was like their 5th and final season, and it brought everything together. I couldn't see necessarily that story going any further with those characters. Now they came back and did say like a movie like they did Sex and the City. Right. That'd be something different. But it wrapped everything up, and I think the same way Atlanta's doing is going to wrap everything up and then move forward. So. And what else we got? We got American Auto, which is a comedy from one of our favorite shows, Superstore. Yeah. So that's funny with it. That's so funny and well written.
It's still carrying that same level of comedy that Superstore had, and a lot of the jokes and the sight gags that you need to be paying attention to the show so that you catch.
Yeah, I like that show a lot. I happened to come across it. I'm like, what is this? And then
and then you told me about it, and I checked it out, and I was like, oh yeah, this shit's fun.
We've been running with it ever since. And I recommend, check that out if you like, especially if you like Superstore a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we had Bel-Air.
Yeah, the reboot of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Did nobody ask for it? Well, I guess somebody asked for it.
It came about because the person, who the showrunner, he made a trailer on YouTube for a gritty reboot of Fresh Prince. Will Smith saw it and said, you know what? I'm going to give you some money to make that show.
Wait a minute. So I didn't know that. Yep. I knew it was this guy created this trailer for a gritty reboot. But he is the showrunner of the show?
I believe so, yeah.
Wow. That's great. So I get a job. Like, goddamn.
So yeah, he made this gritty reboot and put that on YouTube. Will Smith saw it, was like, yo, let's just get this man money to make this show.
That's what happened.
And now we have this very high budget goddamn soap opera. I hate you for forcing me to watch this so that we can discuss it.
It's not all that bad. However, it does go over the top with certain things, and I think the reviews that I have, well, I don't say reviews, but the complaints that I read, people say is that in the 90s it was a comedy, and it had a lot of positivity projected in the comedy, a successful black family, a loving black family, and now you have this successful black family that has a whole bunch of problems within itself. Modern day problems, like Carlton has a drug problem.
Yeah, it's super flawed black family.
Yeah, and Ashley is, I guess, bisexual or I don't want to say that's a problem, but they're exploring her sexual identity in the show, which is not a bad thing. But I think it just kind of takes some people back because it's like, that's not the Ashley that I remember. Like, why would they make her that?
Right, because the thing about it is that it's being pitched for the nostalgia, but it's not for us, which makes no sense because you're pitching it for the nostalgia, but it's definitely not for that crowd that is in the age group where the nostalgia works on.
Right.
And the situations are so over the top that it gears towards farcical melodrama.
What's that word again?
Farcical melodrama.
Farcical. I don't put it right here.
Really farcical. Farcical melodrama.
What's farcical mean? Because that's the ST word I didn't learn.
Means it's sort of super fake comedy.
Oh, okay,
like
okay.
it's a farce. So
you could just said that.
But it's not. It's farcical and it's melodramatic. That's the situations are so over the top. That's where it is. Like from the very first episode, from the beginning of it to the end, it's just they keep adding on to the damn melodrama to the point where it's like, okay, I don't know why I will feel excited about this show. So the thing that made Fresh Prince in the 90s work so well was because it was a comedy. So when the drama happened, it hit so much harder because you're so used to laughing when you watch the show. And also the fact that the people could act. I'm sorry. These motherfuckers can't act.
I don't have a problem with the acting. I think everybody had some kind of... I think because the show is almost an hour long. Everybody's getting shine, which I don't have a problem with, like the character wise, because it definitely is exploring, more so of like Uncle Phil. He was a judge in the show. He's going to run for district attorney in this show here. They're exploring Art Viv being an artist, and I don't remember her really being an artist like that.
Yeah, I mean, at least in the first season, she was like a dancer. She had some artistic abilities going that she showcased.
And then you got Hillary, who is like the new age, who fits into this world better.
The stereotypical version of teens and this teen influences in our universe.
Carlton's excitable on drugs, and he has suffered from anxiety. And then Will is your typical, I guess, normal kid, hip hop kid, whatever. And gets in trouble.
Want to be hard,
right? Gets in trouble. And got one little fight. My mom got scared and got.
I'm mad that they even had that nod in the first episode. I was so pissed off. I'm like, you didn't deserve that. You didn't earn it.
So then you meet Jazz, and you meet who's not trash as Jazz was in the first Fresh Prince.
Right. Yeah. As that sole comic relief.
Right. And then you got Jeffrey, who is I think a assassin for the mob.
Right. Might as well be. The way he talked, the whole damn thing.
Like not Jazz. Jeffrey to kill a few people. He got some bodies.
Like I will say straight up, I did not enjoy Bel-Air. From the acting to the soundtrack, it wasn't for me. I don't know who it's for, but it ain't for me. And it's so over the damn top that it is the worst version of gritty reboot that I've ever seen.
Well, like you said, it is a melodrama, and if they didn't say nigger on there, that show would have been on CW.
Oh yeah, it definitely. I mean, at least as far as the plot and the acting goes, it's CW quality.
Yeah,
so it just with a much bigger budget than any CW show would ever get.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, but I would recommend that you all watch these shows and then give us your opinion about them. Do you like Atlanta? Is that kind of humor for you? What do you think about Abbott Elementary? American, do you like those kind of shows like American Auto? Do you think they shed more black people?
All of those, with the exception of Bel-Air. Don't waste your goddamn time.
So, what other show? I mean, I watched Halo. I watched the first episode. I'm not going back. Probably watch the second episode.
I watched the second episode. I'm not going back to watch the third.
So we're there. I'm not.
We're in agreement about that one.
Right. I didn't grow. I'm gonna say we were pretty much out of high school when Halo came out anyway. So
I mean, I have fond memories of LAN parties with Halo. I mean, and the story, at least for the first two games, was very good. The story for this TV series is not.
I'm not a fan of Halo, the video game like that. So
with the amount of money that Microsoft has at its disposal, you would think that they would just have better everything in this damn show.
The set pieces and costumes are amazing, except for the Captain Commander Chief suit. That's just blocky. It looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, and the Covenant at certain points in the first episode looked like they had no money when they made them.
Like he looked too good. Dial it back a little bit.
Right, dial it back a whole lot.
We got custom. We got we got to pay somebody else. So I mean, HBO Max has like what's it, Doom Patrol and Teen Titans and all that. Yeah, and they're not too good. But this is what we like. This is what's going on right now, and this is what we enjoy to watch. So
yeah, check out all the TV shows and movies that we have talked about, except for Bel-Air. And that's the show.
So let us know what you think about the movies we watch and the shows, and give us your opinions as well. We do talk back. Talk to him, and we will correspond with you.
So as always, you can check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
So thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the page if you haven't done so already.
Peace out.
Peace.